is here to reveal the answers for you. Hello to all our viewers. Use AI grasp the future. Welcome to AI is Here. I'm your host, Wenda Yunyu. Sitting next to me is international AI expert Davy Wang. Hello, Davy.
Hello.
So, Davy, please say hi to our viewers.
Hello, everyone. I'm Davy Wang.
These days, more and more people are attending AI conferences. They're studying AI, yet growing increasingly anxious. What do you think is the reason for this?
Well, actually, in my opinion, a lot of these people are not really there to learn AI. They are there to consume anxiety. Because when you go to an AI conference, what you should be looking for is, how can AI technology help me now in my life, in my work, and how can it help me become more efficient? Not just seeing someone else use AI for something, feeling anxious, or seeing others use AI and worrying again. So, the root cause is simple. You need to be clear about your purpose for attending the AI conference. And also figure out how to actually use the technology you learn.
So, as an AI expert, if these people are already feeling really anxious, what 3 things would you suggest they do to reduce their anxiety?
Of course, what you should do is First, you need to pick a tool, identify a pain point in your work, and use this tool to solve that pain point. That way, you can really experience some of the useful things AI can bring you. Second, choose a direction and achieve a result in it. A simple example is this. I recently did something where I had AI organize my interview notes. It can summarize the candidate's strengths and weaknesses for me, so I can make the final decision. You'll notice that every time you conduct an interview, it saves you at least half an hour. That's a tangible milestone.
That's great. So, Davy, could you share with our audience an example of getting more and more lost while learning technology?
Of course. Actually, ever since AI came out recently, if you've been following AI news, you'll notice that almost every day there's a new model, a new technology, or a new company popping up. Earlier, we were talking about AI agents and AI MCP. And a lot of people get obsessed with the technology itself. Today they tried out this tool, and tomorrow they'll try that framework. After that, you're getting more and more anxious as you learn, because there's just more and more to learn. You end up feeling like you haven't learned anything at all, which leads to this growing sense of panic and anxiety the more you study.
There's a saying, figure out the value first, then consider the tools. If you were to explain it to us in the simplest terms, how would you say it?
Actually, AI is definitely a tool. It is here to assist you, not to replace you. A lot of the time, you need to be very clear about what your question really is. Like when we're starting a business. The first thing we do isn't to develop a whole system right away, but to ask whether our idea can actually help solve a real problem for someone.
Yeah, when people are working on a project, mistakes can happen very easily. In your view, what are the 3 most common ones?
The first mistake is jumping into the tools without a clear goal. People haven't fully thought it through. They haven't first figured out what kind of consensus they want to reach or what goal they want to achieve. Instead, they blindly ask, do I need a piece of software? Do I need a tool to do this? The second mistake is building a platform before clearly identifying the pain point. I don't even know what kind of problem I'm supposed to solve yet. First, I'll set up the platform and build a foundation. That's the second mistake that we need to avoid. The third is starting collaboration without assigning someone in charge. Because when you're working on something, every aspect needs to have a person responsible for it. That way, you can actually talk about collaboration. So, when you're doing this kind of work, you really need to be clear about these 3 points.
In your opinion, over the next 5 years, which 3 groups of people will be most impacted by AI and benefit the most from it?
Well, the first group, of course, are what we call industry experts. These are people who have deeply cultivated expertise in a particular field, who really understand the content of the industry and have a deep knowledge of their field. People like this can create even greater value within the AI space, because a lot of the knowledge in AI, a lot of the data used to train AI, the data used for training all comes from these kinds of people. The second group are those who can break down a complex problem into very small steps. Because when you give AI a really big problem, it can't really execute according to your intended direction. On the contrary, if I have the ability to break things down, I can take a really complex problem and let AI help me solve it. If I let AI help me give suggestions, it will make it so that the goals we achieve are even more accurate. The third type is people who are innovative, curious, and willing to try out new tools. As we just mentioned, there are all kinds of new tools emerging all the time now. So, how can we tell if these tools are actually useful? You need to have a sense of curiosity and an innovative spirit to use these tools to help you solve problems. These three groups will add more value in the AI age.
Okay, I understand. The next question is probably something a lot of viewers want to ask. Suppose there's already a job that's slowly being replaced by AI. So, what should they do in this position?
Of course, the first step is to take stock of our daily tasks and figure out which ones are already being handled by AI or are about to be handled by AI. What are the things that AI currently does very poorly and really need a lot of improvement? That's our first step, to take stock of what we have on hand. The second step is to strengthen certain skills, specifically in areas where AI doesn't perform well. How can I build up my strengths in this area and improve my work skills so that I won't be replaced by AI? Especially, for example, some jobs require people to communicate with each other, and some require understanding people's emotions. This kind of thing is something AI just can't replace, so you need to figure out how to bring out the value in this part, and deepen your own abilities in these areas. Thirdly, we need to find positions that match our own strengths. Jobs that require more human involvement, more person-to-person interaction, and more emotional connection are much less likely to be replaced by AI.
Yeah, that's right. Sometimes. I think it's not about replacing, but rather assisting. What's AI assistance versus AI replacement?
When it comes to AI assistance, it means AI is there to give you suggestions, help you organize data, and provide you with relevant documents. But in the end, you're still the one responsible for the results. That's what we call AI assistance. Now, as for AI replacement, it means some jobs just take direct orders from the boss, like organizing and processing this data, or making this PowerPoint look better. Then these kinds of jobs, we pretty much think can disappear. Because as long as the boss gives these requirements to AI can provide the corresponding, even better, or even superior results.
So, could you give us a heads up about what we should pay attention to regarding AI technology in the next 10 years? What should we be aware of when it comes to AI over the next decade?
10 years may be a little too long a time frame, but just like I mentioned earlier, I've also been on the front lines and have gone through several rounds of technological change. So, with every technological revolution, technology doesn't replace everyone. But it does replace those who aren't willing to move forward, who aren't willing to learn, and who aren't willing to master new knowledge.
So, what do you think? How should ordinary people mentally prepare themselves when facing the wave of new technologies?
So, when a lot of people hear that AI might replace certain jobs, their first reaction is fear. Will it replace me? Will it affect my job? Will it lower my salary? But actually, we should shift our mindset. Instead, we should ask, what problems do I face at work? What are the tough spots? What tasks take up a lot of my time and energy? For these parts, can I use AI to help me work more efficiently? Can it make my output more efficient? Can it improve the quality of my deliverables so that the quality is higher and my boss is more satisfied? In this way, if you embrace AI with an open mind and make AI work for you, this is what we hope everyone will pay attention to going forward.
Thanks, Davy. So, today Davy has helped us clear up a lot of questions about AI. We hope to have the chance to invite Davy again next time to help us unravel more mysteries about AI.